Alright. Hey, Rosie. What is up? I'm live, I know. I thought I was just gone forever. I get it. Sky Sports explains why male ski jumpers have been injecting their genitals with hyaluronic acid. Good age for you.
Long live the King XDD. A little post PT sub.
And we're some blue red. I think I'm just gonna start with blue black. If you check my own tab though, I did get a few wins with the blue red deck yesterday. I think it's not the greatest, but seemed like there's a lot of
Welcome by
lessons. I can't. So I'm glad to be back. I say I wish I could have been back like right away. Kind of sucks to be sick the week after the PT where it's kind of like all exciting and all the PT stuff. Feeling a bit better today. I don't know. Same as the PT, nah, pretty different. Well, pretty different. Minus
69 plus 1 month sub. Wow 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 wow.
these resub messages. Just derailing the stream.
Wow 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 wow.
Pretty different. You can check my PT list pretty easily. Yeah, actually, if you like. Corky's is injured. That sucks. Yeah, so -1 snare, -1 free steps ahead, -1 hex. And then I added the end, should the sheriff betrayal and all. Or stuck up. And then the sideboard changed a bit too. Hey Walrus, hey everyone. I was so shocked when I saw you actually logged the mirror control. Dude, I just built a deck. I was like, well, I'll do my due diligence, right? Spell Snare and Hex are pretty good cards, so at least, you know, I gotta try. And then I just wasn't losing it much. And like Green Landfall was pretty tough, and then Esper Pixie was pretty tough, but everything else just, I guess, lessons. But like the Cub matchups were good. The no talent lesson matchup seemed kind of fun. Even blue black mid range, even the Kaido decks with the sideboard plan wasn't that bad. And then like Sultai Reanimator was favored, slightly favored. Just get control was like pretty easy. It was just like just good deck, honestly. So Strosky just like borrowed his lessons, no talent. Seemed like one of the good decks too. Hopefully I can just qualify with blue-black. Is Glenandra on the sideboard good? It's honestly the flash creatures options are just not that great. It was to have mostly something against like the Kaido decks that can block. I was joking and testing that if there was a card that was blue and a 1/2 free flash flying, I would just play that against the Kaido decks just to have a flash blocker. But people were pretty happy with that card. I think Reed was happy with it, Sperling too. I think that card served us well. It's like not the greatest, but serviceable. They're just like, if you look at the flash creatures in standard that cost 3 or less, they're just like nothing that great, honestly. Oh, that's another thing. I think that Dimir Demon deck is a good matchup, and I think the Harmonizer matchup is fine too.
My great yellow hat lord. The center of
I also might start focusing a little more on YouTube, so like my VOD YouTube channel is doing pretty poorly.
In my heart, and I cannot speak for the
So I might focus more on the other one, and I might do like finally start doing what the others do and just like record while I'm streaming with like intros and outros and stuff. So like probably impede a bit on the stream, but just YouTube's good money these days. So I should try and focus more on that. Oh no, the YouTube chat I'm still gonna ignore. That's something else. That's me just streaming to YouTube and ignoring the chat.
Bezos couldn't stop me from criminating when you left.
But like, hey Steve, hey everyone, hey Dead Dove. So yeah, it might be a little weird at first, but I was talking to Jim Davis too. He makes like good money with YouTube and stuff, and others do too. Ragdos Monument. I mean, I'm not gonna put a card for like one matchup. The free one, I think, is I played that matchup once. It was close, but you have Spell Snare, you have Betrayal, you have Harvester. Jim does it in a very tolerant way. Yeah, and also it's just nice. I mean, I'll be like deck intro, and I'm sure people watching on Twitch don't mind all like deck tech. I'm not sure I'm gonna start today because I'm sick and stuff, so probably gonna be like kind of low energy. But yeah, some adjustments to the deck since the PT. More betrayals and the ends for the. Oh, that's another thing. The blue red deck that did well is pretty good matchup too. I've seen people do their stream normally, then just record a brief 2-minute intro and outro off stream. Yeah, I could do that too. Could do that. Maybe I'll do it now. Just like start getting used to it. Like I can just record and then piece it together after the stream. It's pretty easy. Maybe even get rid of some of the games where nothing happened. Yeah, Feed the Cycle is that kind of card. Like every time I drew it in testing, it was like never really got punished, and honestly, it was kind of nice in the late game. A lot of spots where you have exactly 2 mana left after you cast Stock Up or Consult, and Feed the Cycle's like the best one you can find. And but yeah, maybe it was all loose. Get rid of the game where you got unlucky. Yeah, I'm just gonna post only wins. What should be my YouTube intro? I just say hey everyone. I like everyone. I don't know. Some people say hello YouTube. Some people say gang. I mean, you want something inclusive, but I don't know. Kind of just like everyone. Simple, but not sure there's something that's good but not too cringe. Yeah, good. I wish I'd be that guy, but the XDD appears. You say Ron, yeah. It would be gas. It was just like the video starts and I'm like, and there's like flames behind me. I could do the hello. I feel like that's the podcast though. Hello everyone. Maybe. Yellow chatter. See, I feel like that's all awkward because it's not because you watch my YouTube that you're like a massive flame to the flock of pigeons. The production value is just through the roof. The flock. The more awkward the YouTube intro, the more views I see on it. I just go all out. Maybe. All right. Yeah, I'm listing data in base. How do I feel about my PT? Dude, that second draft obviously killed me. So I went 6-2 on day one. I freed the first draft. Honestly, it was like just my seed drafted itself. Really easy draft. I had a really good deck. I was like blue white was tons of removal and a bunch of bombs splashing for the blue red commands. I had the 4/7 that brings back creatures. Then I had a couple rough standard matches. I had the feature match against Lessons, just kind of bad matchup, bad draws. Got a little unlucky there, especially game two. He drew his one Riddler when I had like everything locked up was Archmages and stuff. And then I lost to Simon, XDD Simon. He just played pretty tight, and my draws were pretty bad. Like come matchup, that's what I prepared for. And but then I managed to free, and then the second draft. I don't know. I think I probably didn't draft great, but I think I like pretty tough seat, and it was the opposite of day one. It's like every pick was tricky. Couldn't figure out my open lane. Just really tough draft. Maybe I overthought some of the picks. Also, my first few picks were maybe like sketch, but um, and I got a little unlucky in the games too. I went 0-3 and then I went 3-2 again in standard. Just like some tough. I think I went 6-4 in constructed. I think I actually ran a little bad in constructed, but it's hard to say. So obviously 9-7. Like I feel like 10-6, you start feeling good about your PT, especially if you go like 10-6, then you feel like you played well. It's a pretty good feeling. 9-7 might still be valuable to make worlds at the end of the year, but obviously a little disappointed, especially when, it's pretty sure I had a good standard deck, and then you get a kind of an easy first draft, and you're like, okay, maybe the stars are aligning, run good in draft, now I get to play constructed, and still all disappointed. Hey, Shilush, thanks for the resub. We didn't do super great as a team either, so pretty mid PT for us. More specific question. I was curious about the small number of duress sideboard. I'm used to seeing 3 duress in the sideboard of a deck like this. Was that just due to the abundance of creature decks and interaction like the seed being creature now? So I didn't want to play duress because I thought the tough matchups was like lessons, and I think using a mana on duress in the early turn of the game is like not trivial cost, and um I was basically want to high roll, and just use spell pierce and annuls on the early turn plays and not pay a mana to like them not spend the mana, and then like the untap black's not super easy always. So basically I felt like the rest was not good enough, and I needed stuff like annul and spell pierce, in the early turns against lessons. The rest pretty nice against Kaido though. We ended up adding back one duress, but that was the reasoning for second spell pierce in the sideboard, no duress. The format is Rancid, Laurel and Eclipse. I don't know, man. I think our limited prep has been kind of mid. I think one thing we discussed that we don't do super well is explore the like non-obvious archetypes, or I mean we knew white black, white red black, but maybe not enough, and I think maybe our limited prep is all too basic sometimes. Can you talk about what everyone was thinking picking a deck? 3 of you, 1 blue black. So Paul Retail kind of locked himself in Mono Green Landfall because he was a bit worried about card availability, which is kind of sucks, but also we have a big team and usually find your card, so I feel like that's all silly on his part. Um, the only bad scenario is if we all play the same deck, then it might get tricky. Um, and also the meta broke down poorly for him, and Green Landfall might actually be pretty decent right now that all the Cubs decks are gone. So he was ahead of his time. And then I built that blue black deck, and basically I never looked back. I wasn't putting a ton of volume, but I was like consistently doing goods. The blue black deck ended up with like the best win rate in in-house testing, meaning like playing match against each other. I think I actually played 0 matches of standard on the ladder or Magic Online just only against my teammates, which is way more just quality reps.
Quadruple 8.
And then the Esper Pixie deck, same, they were doing good. They were doing good against Cub. They ended up like, it was like a 55, 56% win rate in house. And then the Cub decks were doing good too. The Cub decks, our sample was mostly the blue-green decks, because the 4-color version kind of really showed up at the RC, was Tristan winning. But we just assumed that that version would be better than blue-green just because it was better in the mirror. So yeah, we didn't really consider lessons, and we missed on elementals, obviously. It was funny, I don't know if you guys remember, I like drafted that Ashling, and I messaged my teammates and I'm like, man, Ashling's kind of busted, we should build a deck around it. But we built kind of a Grixis control-ish deck. It had Spider-Man and Deceit, but it had a lot of like removal. I think even had like cover-ups and Riddlers. So there's a bit of a miss on us, like not finding the good elementals version. But yeah, basically, all 3 decks we played were doing good in testing, and it was just like personal preference, you know. It'll probably be in the vlog. I haven't started that. I was like not feeling great all week. But at some point during our standard meeting, it's funny. It's basically the whole standard meeting was like my teammates glazing me, just being like, Gab's great, his deck's great. And then at some point Sam goes, if I was a robot, if I could play Magic perfectly, I would just play blue-black control, not close, but I'm not going to. Yeah, so that was more or less like our testing. But yeah, it was basically me on blue-black. Sperling was interested pretty early on. He played a lot. The others, some of them tried the deck. They were like a little hesitant to move, to change to blue-black. Was only a few days left. And then Reed's couldn't make the house this time, so he flew in on Thursday, and he just basically at some point he's like if he was like, if you and Matt play blue-black control and think it's good, I'll play blue-black control, and he just did, and I served him well. I think he went 7-3. But yeah, the others were just, you know, combination of worried that the win rate was good because it was me playing the deck, and also not being comfortable playing control deck at the PT.
The genius of Gabriel Nassif.
Sounds all like arrogant, but I mean, you know, I guess. What made your team like Pixie? They were just winning. They liked their Cub matchup. They thought they had good plans against other decks. I mean, the numbers were good for them. Did someone make deck building choices to card ability? Reed sold kind of locked in mono green landfall early on. He just bought the cards for the deck, and then I don't know. I thought it was kind of a little silly, a little extreme. 15-1 up. Oh yeah, I didn't even realize. No, not really close. If you like Reed is your biggest fan, he would follow you in registering a pre-con. Yeah, I mean, Reed and I are pretty close. Like, we room together, and, you know, we trust each other's judgment. And, you know, he's also like, he wouldn't play the deck if, you know, I was winning like 50% or something. It was like, he goes like, he goes by the stats. I'm not sure I ever actually saw the clip.
The game.
Wow, Gavin Steve doesn't need a win condition. He is the win condition.
Yeah, this is
This is the most.
very Capness.
I was gonna say this is just the most
Yeah,
deceived
clap.
deck.
Yeah, I wish I had a better showing in the feature match. It was a great PT to watch, and my Sid deck diversity was fantastic. Yeah, I mean, deck diversity is one thing. You also want the games to be like kind of close, and deck diversity doesn't equal like good viewing experience necessarily, but definitely helps. What about Salta Reanimator? Salta Reanimator was doing not great in our testing and kind of reflected at the PT. How good was Demolition Field? Very good. Actually, I think my record against Sultai and Elementals was literally like I lost to Pivo and he had a basic swamp. Like the difference between people having one basics and no basics was huge. I think I got a little unlucky against Pivo, but his list was definitely a little more annoying. He had like a basic swamp in his Sultai deck in the main. He had a Glarb in the main +1 in the sideboard. That card's a little scary. He had Duress. He obviously played well too. How often you build a deck for an event? Are you usually someone who just plays one of the decks that the team determines is good, or do you always try and see if a deck that resonates with you is good first? I try to build, a few decks. It's always fun. Try not to get too emotionally attached and follow the stats. But yeah, there's, people have their preference as far as deck goes, type of decks, and then there's also when you have so little time to prepare, because you have like the new set comes out, there's like a week, there's kind of this phenomena where you soft lock yourself. You start with a deck and you do well, and then you have to decide, do I want to try a bunch of stuff, or is that good enough and I should get a lot of reps with my deck. Just important to get reps with the deck you're gonna play at the PT. So that's one of the reasons why people weren't willing to play the blue-black deck, despite the fact it was doing the best in testing, because they were like, well, there's only 2 or 3 days left. Do I really want to switch to that deck? Or sometimes you're better off picking a slightly worse deck, but then you're gonna play well and stuff. Anything you would change? And you have a sideboard guide. I was supposed to write a deck guide for TCG player. I'll try to write it. I was feeling not great this week though, so I didn't write it yet, but it should be up next week. The top 8 had insane games and Doomsday deck just great cinema. Yeah, I didn't get to watch much of the top 8. I was like drafting and then I was traveling. Did you test Doomsday? No, it's not on our radar. Do you prefer blue-black or blue-white? Blue-black. I mean, maybe Jeskai is fine, but yeah, no, I think if you want to play a control deck, just play blue-black. Hey, Retract. Thanks for the 80 months. There's a lot of flex slots. Any adamant are correct. No, honestly, I don't feel strongly about any on the third, fourth copy of most of the cards, but this is what I've been playing for the most part. I think this is pretty close. I had 4 snare, 4 hex for the longest time, but not sure it's great in this meta. Even though, I mean, if there's a lot of lessons, snare and hex are both pretty good against lessons. Hey, White Fang, say naughty. Hey, Victor. Victor had to actually work while I was gone. I'm sorry. Was this seed a consideration for this deck? Yeah, we actually had this seed in the deck for the most part. It was like one Shitong, one this seed, one River Region. At some point we had two Deceits. Someone who had like two Deceits main and then another two Deceits and a Spider-Man in the sideboard. Deceit is fine. Also one of the few answers you have to resolve Monument, so maybe the seed belongs in the deck. It was kind of hard to get a read on the seed and how good it was. We found that Wan Shitong was just kind of a busted card. Like Blue-White Control did really bad at the USRC the week before the PT, but if you look at the list that the best finishing Blue-White list, I think the guy had 3 Wan Shitong in the main and the Force in the sideboard, and I'm guessing that's not a coincidence that he was one of the few that did well with Blue-White Control. Have you found your house win rate stats are reliable? Historically, seems kind of noisy. Yeah, actually, I mean, obviously you need some volume. But yeah, no, they have been like when I played Blue Black Control in Pioneer. I mean, it's there's a lot of maybe confirmation bias, but when we did well was Vamp and I played Blue Black at that Pioneer PT, we were doing great in testing with both. We were doing great with lessons, testing for worlds. I was doing really good with this Blue Black deck, and you know, that 70% win rate. I mean, obviously it's like me, Reed, and Sperling, so it's 3 strong players, and you know, it's maybe, but even if you adjust, it's still like good win rate. You know, even when good players play a deck and a good deck, they don't get 70% win rate always. No, honestly, and then like there's a modern PT where we like had no good decks, and I played Living In and went 5-5, and then most of my team played Yogg and they were coping, and they were like the deck was winning things up. It was like 48% in testing, and they were like coping. They were like, oh, but then the PT is gonna be different. I don't remember what the arguments were, but basically cope, and then that was one of our worst PTs in constructed. Everyone who played Yogg just did poorly. So yeah, I would say the stats are actually really because you're playing like you know, your focus usually you're playing in-house, you're playing good players, playing the deck, so pretty reliable data. It's not like, oh, I went 10 on the ladder, but everyone's a drooler. How do your drafts go? First draft, really smooth. I felt like I had almost no tough decisions. I had a great blue-white deck splashing for Ashlings Command and free odes. Some pretty thick matches, and then second draft was the opposite. It was like, I wish I had the draft log of my second PT draft. But I think I must have like drafted poorly. I don't know. I think I got unlucky. It was the seed and unlucky was the games.
It's
But
been 105 months with UWU, and now we finally return to yellow. What S God, yellow hat pigeons, yellow hat pigeon, yellow what S God, yellow what wow.
how do you change the deck up to the PT? The lessons matchup seems a little rough in my testing so far. So lessons was blue talon and boomerang basics is gonna be tough. Game one's gonna be bad almost no matter what, and then the sideboard games in my experience are fine. And I mean this is my current list. That's different from the PT, but you see an annul in the main, and hopefully we get it in some lessons. And I can hopefully we get some interesting games. What was your most enjoyable, best constructed match you had recently? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Hey, Jontonator, thank you. This is a welcome back from the PT. Do they still have Rookie of the Year? I don't think so. Archdoda had a nice blue-eye list. I mean, his list was pretty stuck, right? I know he started off strong. I don't know how he ended up. When is a good time to cast Stock Up? Depends on the matchup. Depends on if you're digging. I mean, turn 3, turn 4 was a hex up, or if you're digging to cover up. I think the answer is usually it depends. A lot of time it's gonna depend. Hey, Patty Tal. Thanks for the 105. How close are we? Probably April is anniversary. 12, 60, 96. That's 108, 3 months. Damn. Thanks for the resub. The new lawsuit against Hasbro WotC. I've not heard of it. The lawsuit is kind of a meme. One round of the PT, of this PT, my constructed, let me think. I mean, I lost to Simon, but we had like pretty sick game. Last round of day 1, I won a really close one against the Blue Reds Spell Elementals, where I won in the extra turns and really close match. My matches on day 2 were. Honestly, some of my losses were actually like my closest and thickest games and matches in constructed. Brave like is back too. Yeah. No, I like talking about that stuff. I mean, I think it's fun. PT recaps and stuff. I'm glad you guys show interest and happy to talk about it. It's always fun to reflect on stuff. All right, let's get into a run. Let's see if I can 4,000 gems or 20,000 gold. Damn, not cheap. Thanks, Fedital. Any primes in chat? Yeah. So for people interested, I think you can still go to Kickstarter and get yourself a copy of Patrick Chapin's Next Level Magic Forever book, in which I wrote a chapter for. All right, easy keep. This thing maybe a little stock up, but sleight of hand probably means the blue-red spell elemental deck. I think that matchup should be pretty good, especially game 1. They have a few extra dead cards, a little less counterspelled. Have I read the whole book, assuming it's finished? No, I've not. I've just wrote my chapter and, exchanged a bit back and forth with Patrick and editing and stuff. I'm not sure exactly, I'm assuming, I mean, maybe everything is like original material. Assuming some of it is at least updated from his first book, but honestly, I don't know. Patrick was actually at the PT2. He made day 2, but he went on in 8-8, like 4-4 and 4-4. All right, let's see. They usually don't play Pierce in the main. But if I cast River Region, not discard to hand size, I could though. Hex is probably like a brick in this matchup. The downside of tapping out is I can maybe get out tempoed if they have like 2 creatures and then my scatter is dead, but then I have a cover up. That's probably fine. So just keeping the river region might be good. Wow. Get gots. I think the stock list plays like what, 1 in the main? Is it a massive mistake to cut 4 stock up for 4 up to keep counter mana up? Yeah, I kind of got gots. Let's see. Maybe I was loose. Maybe they do have the 1 spell period that's pretty stock, and now I'm in a bad spot. Not a great start. Pretty unlucky. They have like really not that many counters in the main deck. Right, they're 1 of Spell Pierce, 1 of 2 Detect Intrusion. And they had like double creature too. Might still be okay. Let's see. Let's see, unlucky. 2 Detect Intrusion. Yeah, 1 of Spell Pierce. I mean, you could argue like game 1's really good, and I really didn't have to gamble there. Like sometimes you really just can play it very safe. There's no reason to gamble. Is that P-Deck a Brute? Nah, it's like one of the decks that did the best at the PT. Yeah, that game was probably like pretty hard to lose if I like played it a little slow. I didn't even have like Burst Lightning. It's like a little frustrating when you get like insanely unlucky, but also I gotta play it around it for sure. So I don't think you really want the Guardians or the Tideminer in this matchup. They have Brawl. They have like the 2/2 plus the 2 mana counter, so I think Spell Snare is good. The Hex can all go. 3 steps ahead, you can usually just trim like tempo matchups. The Dark Banishings are good, and then you can like cut all the cover-ups or some of the cover-ups. Spell Pierce, I'm not sure, because the games go long and their spells are cheap, but it's kind of good early on against Winter Night Stories and Raw. Then Tidebinder can bail you out against Raw. You can get Thunderflock, I guess. Could just do like 1 cover up. Kind of keep them honest, but Mind Twisting for the resub. Is vacuum good against them? Yeah, I think it's quite good. It like keeps their graveyard like small and let's see. Don't have duress on 1 or 2. Bitter Triumph. I mean, my duress gets spell pierced. I think it's fine. They're also like not bad to have creatures, and on the ladder, I won a game where. Well, it was different. My opponent had Ashling in his deck, but I won a game where I brought back an Ashling and it was like, let me loot in the mid game, which was really nice. Winter Night Stories or Sleight of Hands. Let's take the stories, I guess. It sucks. Call them Mulligan's 5 set should still be good as long as I will land eventually. I was gonna kill it now. I'm at 18. I mean, that second one, she tongue was my hands. Your life total kind of matters sometimes. I don't know, this is kind of sketch discarding a card even though I'm way up on cards. Ooh, nice. Take the cheap cards. Take the land. I don't really want to sag the lantern, honestly. Just remove a card, draw a card. Yeah, take a land. Just take both lands. You think they fill up their graveyard too fast for Ghost Vacuum? Not sure that's true. Could have taken an untapped lands. I mean, I was greedy. Looks like it's probably not gonna matter at this point. I'm not knowing spots. Guess I'll take shoot the sheriff. Let's see. You don't want to get in burst lightning range. Get all punished for not keeping an untapped land. This is where keeping one cover would have been good, yeah, but they mulliganed 5 and that game was weird and they're pretty good at countering cover-ups up for sideboards. I think the more cover-ups you have in your deck, the harder it is, the easier it is to like fall behind. I think this counts as both, right? Um, six. So I can cast a Regent. I can cast Wan Shi Tong on my opponent's turn first. Might be a bit better. It's also better if they have a crab. Our goods. We are good. $14. What do I lose to? I just cast it, right? All right. Cover up or not. Nagi was pretty good for me at the PT in that matchup. It's like expensive, but let's do one cover up. Same was as the PT. No, I changed a bunch. Like first, Edgar changed some stuff for the PTQ. We like made some change to the PTQ. Because Edgar didn't make day 2, but then he wanted a PTQ was like updated list. And since I made some more changes, I kind of was in my control deck in the top 8 because we're bad at draft. I'm bad at draft. I'm a cute for the next PT. Yeah, I'm cute for the next 2. I was already kind of cute for the next 2 because I was cute for the next one. I had Hall of Fame invite if I needed to, but no, I don't even need the Hall of Fame invite anymore. It's gonna get countered almost always, but just gotta do it. Like not great because you fill up their graveyard, but my hand's pretty decent. Also, Spellsnare is just gonna be great against me. I mean, look at my hand. That's insane. I actually had 7 2-mana cards. That's funny. Isn't there some kind of draft only event coming up? That's next year. Yeah, it's like a limited Pro Tour, basically a limited only Pro Tour kind of. I can use my Hall of Fame invite for that, so the goal is to like either qualify for it directly or do well enough that I can save my Hall of Fame invite for it. Just use Essence Scatter while you can. None of their creatures have really scary enter the battlefield effects against you, so that's a good draw. Could maybe play second Fountain Pour. It's pretty good against some of these meta decks. I think it's okay to consult here because I have because if they have Haral, I have Negate and Bitter Triumph. I think I'm gonna take it slow though. I'm just gonna say go. Then I'm gonna make a fish if they don't do anything. Just slowly get ahead like that. Okay, now they're tapped to 1 mana. Is there a reason to play Consult now? It means no Spider Sense, free cards. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Oh. Well, that's nice. They're gonna be all greedy here. Yeah, Spell Snare is pretty much always gonna be a thing though. Um, Probably can't go too wrong. Could just not be too greedy and take like land and. Do I care about these Winter Night stories? Could take land and Nagi. I think I definitely want to take a lands. And the other card's kind of tricky. Maybe taking a lantern is fine. Even the 1 mana though kind of doesn't really fit the curve here. Probably gonna want to use like two removal spell, maybe not. I don't feel like I can go too wrong almost no matter what I pick, but it's still nice to try and make the right decision here. Guess I'll take Unagi, but I'm more like not so sure. Like they're gonna cast what, one stories and then Unagi kind of deals with the second one in some ways. Let's not get too fancy. Try and get rid of that. Oh. Oh, Unagi kind of like soft blocks them now. Guess they could have Sunderflock. Yeah. I'm playing bad. I should have played one sheet on 4-4. This is getting all scary. Yeah. I'm like making all the classic mistakes, I feel. Just not trying to think like, okay, what do I lose to now? Free cards. Yeah, this is like. It's not going well. Looks like I might still be fine though. Nine. I'm at 10. Wow, not a removal spell, really? Beats. Well, that's silly. Let's see. I could think like duress plus counter and try and protect my Wanshi Tongue. That probably makes sense. So silly. I mean, I probably just played bad, honestly. I just both games I probably should have won. I played a bit better. I like really like just played really poorly every step of the way. Can't win, right? Yeah, I mean somehow they had like free lethal spells and none of them was like none of them was countered by a spell snare or anything. Alright, let's try again. Open. Seems like my opponent played pretty well too. Probably better than what I've been playing against on the ladder, but that was like 100% on me. Have to go 4-0, yeah. In paper, do you have issues closing out games with the blue-black deck? None of us got draws at the PT, but I won. I definitely like went to time at least once or twice. I have to get that thing right away. Once they pay the man, I had to get the trigger and stuff. Let's see if this showed up was a basic. Nope. Had I lost, I mean, they had like the absolute perfects, and I played badly. I gave them a chance to come back in the game. Can't really pinpoint where it went wrong, but I like basically. I think I cast Unagi at some point. Maybe I made plays that were bad against Thunderflock and got punished for it. Drum.
Sir, I noticed you did not top 8.
There's like 20 different versions of that deck. Tidebinder, Stroke, Hasidic. Yeah, I know. Is it time for an unfollow? Yeah, they got basic checked. I think you want to cut Spell Snare, but keep in Hex probably for Ashling. And then Negate can go. The removal is good. Assuming Goes Vacuum's not the greatest against Wistfulness. Ooh, Nagi's probably fine. And all is good if they have like 4 overlords, so that's kind of list dependent. And then Bitter Triumph can go because it's your weakest removal spell. I guess one hex can go too. I was a little surprised that the Lessons players didn't have more Price of Freedom in their sideboards. It was like not unreasonable to predict that like 70% of the meta was gonna be like 1 or 0 basics in their deck. Seems like a good card to have. Could have waited there on Consult, but hitting land drop's nice, or finding another Consult or stock up obviously is fine too. Still sneaks up on me a bit. Yeah, that's all intense. Alright, hopefully I don't have another cavern. Uh-oh. Guess I can shoot that. Yeah, the name Golem was the first one. Dude, it's been a while since I got the PT plague. I'm feeling better finally. All right. Is it just all one trigger? Does anyone know? Can I Tidebinder the whole thing? It's 4 triggers. I was hoping not to hear that. Could let them have it and just try and find a cover up. Only have 3 left. Alright, I guess I'll do that. I guess this is fine. This will only get like 1 of each triggers. These scatters aren't doing much. What am I at? 15? I mean, Wanchitong could just own them. Or it could be bad. I guess I'll just stick the lands, but I'm not so sure. Tough. Thing has ward, can't really bounce the vibrance. I just play sewers like Tidemind or something. Try and cast cover up next turn. I think that's gonna be too slow. Alright, they get like double 4 mana. I should have countered the first trigger. No, it's kind of late. It's... What happened there? I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Can't be countered. They're gonna get double trigger. Yeah, they use Cavern. Might be time to reload on the cuff medicine after this game. Just dead. Could have flashed in Tidebinder. Just to Harrow. Maybe an all is good. They have Drum and Throne. Maybe Overlords. They have Spider-Man, right? My Soul Guide. I think they have Spider-Man in their deck. Or do they not? Maybe they don't. Enemy 3, Blight, go to 5. Oh yeah, good call. Should have just Killer's list. Did Killer not have Spider-Man in his deck? Okay. Let's do it all. This seems fine. I think like a decent bunch of things need to go right for them to win. It's not gonna happen every time. They do have Vibrance though to like keep getting more Cavern. It's not like that hard for them to like get a lot of Cavern in play, but it's still not super trivial. Such bards. So you were asking what's a good spot to stock up earlier. Someone was asking. So their 3 mana plays are not like super scary. So this is like pretty great spot to cast stock up, find some lands. Demolition Shield obviously, and then Decide if you want 5th on tap land, since I have Unagi and 3 steps ahead. I'm gonna start picking up some cover-ups. Kind of tough spot for the second one. I think keeping scatter is all greedy. I think keeping the cover-up's probably fine. Pick your poison. I mean, the card you really want to take is Demolition Field. I'll take that though. Let's go after a starting town here. I don't want it. It's nice. Want that land. Don't hate saying go. Interesting. I actually talked a bit to Kibler before the Pro Tour, and we were talking about the no basics, and he was like, yeah, whatever, someone showed up with Demo Field. He also said, like, he played against Demolition Field 1 on the ladder and still won, so he's like, basics just too heinous every time you draw it. It kind of sucks to run that into Spider Sense. Gate. Got bad matchup where no basics is less than no surprise. Makes sense. Or my one Shitong deck was 4 demo field, 4 price. Yeah, I was saying I was surprised not more people didn't have 4 price of freedom in their lesson sideboard. Seems like pretty much no one did. I was all confused. See, going after a starting town was pretty good here. Don't have red mana. Alright, Bruns. I got countered get a land one. We binge watched a new season of Lincoln Lawyer yesterday, literally like all 10 eps. I can't remember when the last time I watched I did that was. Let's say somewhat, yeah, if when the card's on the stack, if you scroll on it, it will say can be countered. It glows red too. It literally says too if you scroll on it. Good day, first time chatter, welcome. Welcome to the chat. It's a pretty good use of my mana, I think. Could be very conservative and just do Tidebinder plus hard counter. I kind of got gods in that exchange. This one first. Double demolition field, 3 steps ahead. May just keep a stock up, maybe keep a wall sheet on. Feels like I'm past the demolition field part. Skip these two. Finally, something that works out for me. I feel like my opponents kind of had my number lately, these games. That's pretty nice in the meta. A little edict. Or it works against Sirach too. Need them have Cavern of Souls plus something good. Alright, that's kind of tough. Yeah, much tongue is nice for sure. Shuluku. Oh, you were on the rail when that happened? Yeah, I had a pretty. I like won in the extra turns in the limited round. And on my last turn, I had 4 mana Elendra counter spells that counters like every spell and every trigger that's on the stack. And my opponent cast a Convoke Merfolk, tapping free Merfolk that had a trigger. So I countered the spell and the free triggers and got 4/1/1 flyers out of the card. That was like super sick. Yeah, that was on day one. That was when everything was going well. It was a super sick match I played. I got paired against Jody Keith, and like we were both 1-0. And like game one, I thought I was super far ahead. And I go the 4/7 that bring back, it comes in with two -1/-1 counters, and then you bring back creature that have power 2 or less from your graveyard. So I play that. I bring back a changeling, copy it, so now I have 2. And he goes, wow, nice combo, bro. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. I know he's not everyone's favorite, but Not sure he did. And then he untaps and just plays the 7-mana giant that turns all my creatures into 1/1. So if I'd played like a little more cautious, I could have played around it, but I didn't know he had it. And so I lose a 35-minute game one, and then I won the next two games in like 15 minutes. And I mean, to his credit, he played fast and stuff. I mean, it was also in his interest to play fast, especially like game two. I won pretty fast, but yeah. Oh, that deck. Hmm. They have Monument in their deck. It's pretty scary. Let's see if we can find something that does something. Hex. I mean, Hex is not the worst thing, but it's not the best thing either. It's kind of tough. I don't really need another land, but I might. And they do have like moon shadows and stuff. Yeah, this game's gonna be tough. If they have Monument, I'll almost definitely lose. You know, Macy. Hope you had a good stream. So you're streaming a decent bit. Trying to keep everyone company while I was gone. I'm not gonna use it now. Yeah, I mean, they just discarded Blood Gas, like, not great. And they have Monument. Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I'm just showing up with the nuts. Guys, they only had one Bloodghast. I want to at least be able to, like, I'm gonna cover up. I want to be able to, like, collect evidence. Consult's not enough. That's another nice thing about Stuck Up. The extra mana on Stuck Up helps you, like, collect evidence pretty easily. This matchup seems really bad. Yeah, I agree. I beat it the one time I played against it on the ladder, but it was very close. I mean, I think it's fine if you keep Monument up the board. You do have like a null, negate, and stuff up your sideboards. I'm not running the seats. Trips Bloodghast, easy. This game's pretty much over. You know, it's dead, right? Let's see what's bad against them. Not sure how much you need to respect their cheap drops. How many hex you want. Also not sure if you want to play the cover-up game against them. To cover up or not to cover up? Probably not. Probably just play just mid-range a bit. Shoot, the chef's not very good. They have like Tursa, I think, that costs 3 or more. Maybe the Phoenixes. Let's try this. If he goes vacuum or Caveira, is it 1-1 or 4-4? I don't know. Oof. Ah. Let's go draw. Alright, so I can go Wan Shi Tong to demo field. Seems bad. Ready to scale that thing. Have counter spell mana up. Alright, that was nice. No blood gassed. Win number 4. Yeah, Harvester is really good. Flying haste attacks each. Cover up. Well, I have a lot of creatures, so I decided not to have my cover ups. Not King Ashing is rough. Well, it's my sideboard. Card does not seem very good against Wan Shi Tong. Alright, off to the races. I don't know what they have. I know they have Bitter Triumph, at least. I'll take a hit. One she dies to Hex. I mean, they're not gonna have Hex here. I don't think so. Hope I get duressed. I probably would have duressed first. Tide binder that. And also play one Shitong. How big is it gonna be? 4. Okay. I guess I have Reef. Just trade one Shitong for it. Or I could take it. And attack for a bunch. Have a blood gas in the yard. Tough one. That could both force a trade. I mean, they can just take it, right? Try and kill me. Discard a card, then draw 2 cards. Can demo them. Demo is optional. Tidebinder this. So Tursa doesn't do anything funny. Still have negated. They have a second flail. I guess I can block too. Maybe I should have negated that and then just Tidebinder the blood gas trigger, maybe. I don't feel like damn if I do them. Like I'm kind of good either way. Trying to think what they could have. From nothing. I don't think they played Burst Lightning. I also didn't get priority. Alright, that was close.
48 months. The time gap spent in the US chatting.
Yeah, it's gone forever, really. Case, monument, cheap creatures. To cover up or not to cover up? The orange shield. Maybe I need more spell snares on the draw. I guess 3 steps ahead on the draw is just too expensive. Solgal Lantern's not the greatest. Their 2-drops are pretty scary. They might have bitter charms too. Like Case not a card that makes daily cover up a little scary. Like, yeah, I don't think I want to play the cover up game. Guardian's not the worst blocker. It's a little slow. Maybe I'll just do all the spell snares. Maybe I'll do all the stuck ups. I'll do all the spell snares. Did you ever have a Mystical Teachings deck from back in the day? Played Mystical Teachings in Block Constructed Pro Tour, just blue-black Mystical Teachings. That was a really good deck. My friend almost won the tournament. Waffle actually won the tournament. He beat my friend into semis. I'll off for a lantern and Sion maybe the bloodghast. Nah. Wow. Brutal. Pretty good draw. Okay, can lose that. Alright, should be GG. Gonna let it resolve and start racing. It's real silly though. Okay. Kind of scary. Discard a card and draw two. They have a bloodghast. I guess I need to discard. That costs mana too, right? Costs mana. Alright, one Shitong, you beautiful bird. You beautiful pigeon. Good town. So do I go after their lands, or do I just cast a stock up for now? Double red, double black. A null. I gotta keep shoot the sheriff man up. Let out all these spells there. They were really good. Just betrayal them now, maybe? don't think there's any way they can like give me it was the Phoenixes, right? Warlock is an outlaw, right? I should have waited. Now they got to unlock their chase. It's kind of scary. I might lose. I might just lose now. Oh. Yeah, I should have kept SM Scatter here. Oh, this isn't the graveyards. Right. Three cards a turn. Gotta close out the game really fast. Need to find like Unagi. I think you probably just consult now. Let's try Fire River region too, would be good. $14. So this can be 8 power maybe? Guess I don't have to cast it now. Can wait. See what they do. No, oh, that's nice. Made it easy on me. No mind games. That first round go, I blew it. I lost round one to blue red spell elementals. I think I could have won all 3 games. I think I free game 1 and 3 because I was just careless and they had it all. Let's play a reach first, see what we need. Thanks for the match, GG. Having 2 games. That was close. That was very, very close. Alright, I get to get my revenge. And maybe try not to play like a Monson this time. Well, that's easy. Hex usually does nothing in their deck. A good matchup. It is. Has been so far, anyways. Um, so they might have a crab. Crab's 2 mana already. Kind of tricky. Could take untap step. This is kind of bad for me. I mean, it'd be hard to imagine they would do that, but if they just slam 2 crabs here, it's kind of cold. Kind of have to be ghosting to play that way. Like, I could just have cover up if you do that. Okay, what if they do though? I mean, if they do, I'm kind of screwed, honestly. Discard 2 hand size, it's fine. Yeah. Damn, no cover-ups. Hmm. Could have kept playing. Like, game 1, they have stock list like 1 spell pierce, 2 spider sense, 3 spell snare, I think. I think keeping removal is good too. On that plan, it would have been nice here. Let's not get right by spell pierce. Just wait a turn. Discarded what, 2 burst lightnings? I play attachment. I don't like it. Let's take untap land. Oh, let's just take a removal spell. Hopefully they don't play that Lynx in their main deck. Alright, took the land because it plays around Spider Sense plus Spell Pierce. So they need to have like double Spider Sense, and then even then I shoot one of the elementals. It looks like their list is all different of attachments, so who knows, maybe they have like 3 steps ahead or something in their deck too. Yeah, that's a neat trick to at least save 1, even if it resolves. Well, I guess I get to like exile it and get the 1 in their hand. Sorry. Been trying to mute. How to play 4 Winter Night Stories, 2 Intrusion, Dragon Haunts, 3 Spell Snare, 1 Pierce. Yeah, I mean, it's still the same mix of removal, I guess. Alright, need to dodge, like... Card being a Spell Pierce would be annoying. Spell Snare, I mean Spell Pierce on tap. Last Burst Lightning, GG. Yeah, game should be over. Alright. Pierce, Snare, Stroke. Nagi, One Sheet Tongue, Duress, Betrayal. And goes Vacuum. Cut the Hex DDs. Yeah, I'll just try and keep all the cover-ups. Rawl is all scary when you play the cover-up game, but 3 steps ahead and then null. I got some of the top end. Maybe like trim a cover-up. Maybe just keep 2 cover-ups. If you exile their 4/5, they can't cast Flood. The crab is also an elemental. That's why that deck's really nice. That deck was around too, right? Before the Pro Tour. The deck showed up on Magic Online and stuff. Tough. I don't really keep that. Don't even have like a stock up. Could be worse. I don't think Reef's like super effective against them. That card's obnoxious. How's the Exterior matchup been for you? I played once at the PT and once or twice online, and seems good. Honestly, I don't know. Seems good on paper to me, and it's played out that way. Who knows? Maybe I'm running good, but seems like their cards don't line up very well against yours. Worst game I've had is the ones where they just all their hand attack. Well, yeah, depends. The match I played at the PT, my opponent literally just like duress me 3 times in game 2 and cast a million stock ups, and then he just died to my creatures, to my flash creatures, so I was not super impressed. I don't know, maybe they can win if they draw the right mix of everything. Not sure I've lost a game in that matchup yet, though. Man, Beyond's so annoying. I'm gonna take so much damage if I try to Bitter Triumph here. It's like I'm so stuck, though. You get the feel of Ruined, but rams them up like crazy. Just feels like I'm so far behind. Sorry. Alright, I mean, I'm gonna get blown out, but I'm gonna try and kill it now. Sometimes they don't have it. Oh. I had a spot like that at the Pro Tour in round 8 of day 1 when I was playing that matchup where he says go with 1 mana up and I tap out for kick consult and he's like, yup. You know, in his like free spell snare spell pierce deck where he hadn't done much either, so that worked out pretty nicely for me. It was a good sequence. Betrayal, you get your 2 Eternite stories. That was nice. I'm gonna lie, that was nice. They can't cast their creatures, so their dex does like nothing right now. So I'm not in a rush. Should I shock? Should I shock? Probably not. Maybe. So I can consult and then untap stuck up plus negates. Well, I can play Drago a little more. I'll take a draw step. Easy. Alright, let's start casting spells. Do you plan to spell pierce here? Spell snare. I think so. These cards are gonna be good against me. Committed. Okay. That means they don't have spell snare. Good news. This means they don't have spell snare or spell pierce. Like Restless Reef. Like a bit of a raw insurance. I might just kill them at some point. And the land will be good eventually. Or I could take both removal. They usually keep in burst lightning, so Reef's not super appealing right now. Tough one. Alright, I'll take both removal. How much was the abilities and how much was the deck? Oh, fuck, they have it. I think the deck was really good. It was good in our testing, you know, we're playing against good players in our testing, so Just like lines up pretty well in the meta, and any reason to hold a lance? Not really. Bluffing, I guess. Also, open necklace is pretty nice for control decks. It hasn't been too big of an issue so far. I feel like the hands you keep are like just fine against everyone for the most part. You're not making crazy mulligan decisions because your cards are pretty versatile overall. Oh, you might as well just play it sooner rather than later, I think. They already played 2 hard counters. Oh, gross. Should I demo field? Meringue? Not sure. Let's all cover up first. What are we gonna cover up? Could cover up raw, honestly, with my hands. They're gonna have 2 at most. I guess the crab's pretty scary too. Sometimes I only play 2 of the crab. So that card, they might just play Stoke first, and I can spell snare it. Can I guess crab right away? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Plenty. Crab would be a little scary. And raw is also scary. Oh, they have 4. Okay. They have 4 and they don't have another raw. Oh yeah, they have the links. I was trying to see what counters they had for one Shitong as well. Yeah, take a look. They probably have 1 raw. Really, I feel like the PT maybe. I feel like the list I've played against since. Oh man. So I'll give them an extra mana. I want to see if they had Get Out or Stroke in their deck. Yeah, the blue mana might legit was insane. It's an elemental too. Did they discard anything good? No. I was gonna play like a coward, I guess. Eh? Could one sheet tongue instead. Why would I not? Burst lightning. Oh, pretty good. I'd Get Out.
Brutal, savage, ranked.
Pretty good follow up. River Region against Thunderflock, XDD. That was nice. That was real nice. Having points, am I? Is something not working? They have 10 cards left in their deck. Huh. Hate me. Oh. I just guessed for the Regent. That makes sense. Buys me a little time. Then they recast both and Thunderflock. Oh, I guess I could just bounce Elemental. Wow. Just scoop when I'm at 5 in that spot. I'll take it. I mean, I think I was gonna win, but I didn't expect the scoop there. Yeah, short stream qualified too fast. I don't know. I tried to like. I punted one. I punted a run. Not make it look too broken. I'm a little worried about the meta for if I do qualify. Worried about way more lessons. Like when we're testing lessons was really bad matchup. Like the version was blue talent was game one was almost unwinnable, and then the sideboard games were close. But we didn't think lessons would be popular at the PT because they had been doing so poorly. Lessons is the reason I'm afraid to play control in RCQs, yeah. Can't really blame you. Like, also people might just not have the cards for other decks, and they might have the lesson deck from like before, stuff like that. So they're playing blue-white flash. Flash in Wanshi Tong. Well, silly. I don't know what's in their deck exactly. Good stock up now. Do they usually play? Do they usually play like wide endurance though? Maybe I'll just play Wanshi Tong as a 1/1. The PT list had Innocence, post PT no. Post PT list as a Johnny instead. Yeah, I mean, oh, and Heinen and stuff. We got on tap and played as a free, but they have seam rips and stuff. Someone who's rusty and standard. That blue-red deck I just played against is pretty good and like pretty normal standard deck, I would say. So pretty normal constructed deck. I mean, very nice. And just land, probably. I didn't bottom it demolish and feel like a dummy, did I? Is Obenon also 3-0? They try to pair you, I don't know, you know, it's the more you wait, I don't know if it's still that way, but usually like they try to pair you and then they try to pair against someone with your record. I played Demir over Jeskai. I don't know, I haven't really played Jeskai. Assuming Jeskai is just not the greatest, but it did kind of okay at the PT. Better than I expected it to do. Let's take Scatter for sure. And in the end, it's probably pretty good, right? Against their stuff. Or I could just take more card advantage. I'll take removal. Ooh, Fountain Port. Annoying. 1 Anchorage. 2 Temples. This is not even half Fountain Port. Alright, just use my mana while I can. Try and be efficient. Can they kill a 6/7 flying? Get lost, maybe. Oh, so Airbend against Scatter, I can still cast it, right? Ooh, cover up. Cover up all your Angs. Sounds pretty nice. Alright, let's see. 1 Wrath, 3 Curiosity, 4 Interrupter, 1 White Innocence, 2nd Tideminder, 4 Hiding, 2 No More Lies, 2 Seamer. So they can get rid of the dragon by tapping it. Avatar's Wrath. Pretty nice DN target, honestly. Could probably river first too. Either would be fine. Maybe I'm playing too scared, especially since we see they don't have Get Lost. Minder to Surveil trigger. Got him. Let's use our cards. I was hoping almost for no more lies here. Yeah, it's annoying. Whoa, annoying. That Fountain Port too. You bounce the Seam Rip just to make them spend the mana. Might as well, right? Not costing me anything. That's nice. Another one for betrayal. Could copy my river regent. Bounce anything. No, it didn't really matter at this point what I did. So what they're gonna have, a couple strokes maybe. More annoying and flash creatures. Let's see, betrayal, harvester. Maybe duress. Maybe the creatures. Spell snare. The null? The null for the endurings. The high noons. I wonder if they board at high noon. I'm gonna board out some seam rips. 3 steps ahead, it's a little clunky, and all can go negate. Trim the cover-ups. Kind of need Glen Elendra just because you need the creatures, I think. The rest could break. Maybe I won't do the rest. And then the one sheet tongue's like pretty bad against Interrupter and stuff. Bad against Interrupter and bad against Ang, so. Maybe I'll just trim a consult too. Someone to draw. On our Rhino, they have a lot of annoying cards, but their stuff also is all clunky sometimes. I don't know. Um, huh. Expensive, but you don't want to kill it right away. They can punish me with like a Johnny. I want to kill it right away, right? That cup sounds like it hurt. It's better. Today's been much better. Like I started coughing a tiny bit on Sunday night on the plane. And then Monday I was kind of okay. And then Tuesday I got started getting sick and stuff. And then it's just a cold. I haven't had a fever, but I've been like coughing a lot and stuffy nose, bit of a headache, just run down overall. Alright, downside of the end is if they're like an actual planeswalker, I might be in trouble. But obviously betrayal here is like not very efficient. It could be though. Could have spell snare. I get to see their hand too, which is nice. We didn't see Elspeth in game 1. They probably have like 1. What are my thoughts on the recent Pro Tour? It's a pretty vague question. I mean, I can rumble or ramble, I mean, but probably helps if you narrow it down a bit. And that's going to use the end. Okay. Free a Johnny. The 2 Archmage, Tidebinder. You still have 2 High Noons in there. Stroke, sheet. They have no more lies, and I have spell snare. And they have voice, but no combos with voice. So that should go stock up. Bait the no more lies. Well, not really bait, but make them use it now. Get a swamp and get. And their free cards are good against Wan-Shi Tongue, but I'm probably going to be able to flash it into play anyways, right? I don't know. I think the greed is fine. Do you reckon to ban anything Monday? I haven't thought about it. What's the discourse? Okay, so they can only cast 1 spell now? Alright, let's see. Wan-Shi Tongue, they can Ang. Probably self-fine, right? I think I just want to cast River Region, right? And they're gonna interrupt it. That's fine. I don't know. I don't know what should they ban. I mean, do they need to ban anything right now? Oh. Surprised it didn't interrupt it and then ang my Wanshi Tong. Think maybe they messed up. Need to be a little careful, I guess, on them flipping that. Guess I could just play a Betrayal here. Is there a reason not to play River Region every time I can? Just jam the River Region down their throats. Shoot the Sheriff seems good. And then Demofield seems good, maybe. Alright, I need a huge draw step. I'm not even sure what saves them anymore. I can Tidebind Demofield, so I need to be a little careful. I guess I can gather it. Do I care? Doesn't feel like I can really lose. Sure, I'll find a way. Alright, they can flip that. It's all their mana, though. Alright, well. It's what, a 5/5? Alright. That was, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't think I could really lose at this point. Alright. Good run. Got a little sweat here and there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably just run it back tomorrow and hope for the best. Hope there's not too much lesson. I'm not sure what I would change right now, though. Already gonna bet Demir on Monday, not I did this, yeah, for sure. I don't know if they could ban like Spell Snare, maybe. Spell Snare is kind of obnoxious. The elemental stuff's pretty strong too. They could ban Thunderflock. Thunderflock kind of feel that card. Trying to play creatures. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they would ban, honestly. Ben Kaido? Isn't standard powerful, kind of fun and balanced? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Ban Steam Vents. Yeah, I don't know. Standard seems fine to me. Let's see what other people have been doing. If people have iterated a bit. How many standard challenge has it been since the PT? Just copied our list. A lot of these decks are just Doomsday lists. Okay, it's just all the Doomsday lists. And then people are just playing the deck, obviously just net decked. Ah, you can tell he net decked reads because of the third reef and no fountain port. He chose his champion. Oh, I'm still muted? How long have I been muted for? I think the someone asking elementals deck. I think the elemental decks are strong. I think yeah, the blue-red version seems really good, and the 5-color versions are good too, I think. My worst matchup lessons. Depends. Lessons was blue talent and boomerang basics is really tough. Esper Pixie is tough. And then maybe mono green landfall is stuff, but I would have to play that some more. What can I replace Wan Shi Tong for in this deck? Wan Shi Tong's really good. You can play. How many Wan Shi Tongs do you have? Is it for paper? Yeah, I know they're expensive in paper. I don't even own Wan Shi Tongs. That's the one card I had to borrow. Yeah, I should have bought them though. Zero. Zero is tough. You can play Deceit. You can play Unagi. You can play River Regent. You can maybe play Tidebinder in the main. You can maybe just play Third Restless Reef. You don't really need to kill people, especially game one, because you just cast Cover Up and you take all their good cards. So that deck doesn't really need to actually deal damage that much. But yeah, these are some options. Glenalundra Garden good enough in the main. Doesn't strike me as a good main deck card. Do have Deceit and Riddler, but maybe one Riddler is okay. I mean, it gets better after Sideboard too. You could try Deceit. We had Deceit in the deck for a while. It was fine. Do you think it makes sense to go on Reef since Excruciator is seeing a lot of play? Yeah, having a Reef in play is good against that deck, so Reed played a third Reef, we played Fountain Port. Pretty sure he was wrong about that one. Me and Matt Sperling were pretty confident. You could maybe play 27 lands. Fountain Port's pretty good against that blue-red flash deck. Fountain Port can be good against the Deceit decks too. Fountain Port, I think, won me a few games at the Pro Tour. Just making a fish, chum blocking a Deceit, drawing a card, and helping you top deck when they have the good Deceit draws. Could you trim a basic for a Reef? Yeah, you could trim a Swamp for a Reef. That would be acceptable. The deck already has a lot of lands that come into play tab though. I think it's sketch. I think you should definitely play Fountain Port over the third Reef, and I think if you want to add a third Reef, you should just probably play 27 lands. But 26 pretty good. You don't mind casting Consult on 2 mana just to dig for lands, and then obviously stock up helps you make your land drops. Honestly, I would even play second Fountain Port before the third Reef. That's why you could play if you don't like one sheet. If you don't like, if you don't have the one sheet tongues, you could just play a second Fountain Port and then play one Deceit. Fountain Port over one sheet tongue and Deceit over the other one. What's the theory on the one-ups in the side? You either have it or you don't. It's just it's a lot of reactive, kind of narrow cards, so you don't need too many of any of these cards. Some are more versatile, like Tidebinder and Guardian, and then some a little narrower, like Annul and Ghost Vacuum. I don't know. You only get 15 sideboard cards. You need to make sure you have enough for each matchup, etc. This is the other deck I only played 2 matches with that deck so far. Also, I think that deck's probably horrendous against that blue-red Spell Elemental deck, because your cards don't do... I guess Technique and Lesson kills all their creatures. Kick Lesson. Maybe it's not that bad. Obviously, this deck's good if... Probably better in a Cub meta when there's these 5-color Cubs that only have 1 basics, and then these Elemental decks, the 5-color that have 1 or 0 basics, and Salta Reanimator. Probably not the right meta for it. Yeah, you can see I didn't really like... pretty much only played blue-black. That I'd be able to be the bad guy a bit. What else? Oh, that's another deck. I didn't really have time to test that deck. That deck could be good. It was basically my blue-black control deck, but it was green in it. I didn't play it a lot. I had one bad set against green landfall and then moved on. That deck could be good. I didn't play it enough to know. Maybe I should play that deck a bit more. It's basically kind of blue-black control, but with some of the good green cards, and gives you removal for artifacts and enchantments. That could be a good deck if, because you still have the cover up and removal aspect, and then you have Wistfulness and Awaken for lessons. Could try a deck. Yeah, play a match with that deck. Cub, yeah, the Cub decks got kind of hated out. I have my token, right? Ranked. I'm feeling a bit better. I kind of want to go to basketball tonight. What do you guys think? You think I'm still contagious? Any doctors in chat? Well, obviously there's doctors. So many PhDs. Should stay home and rest, probably. Probably should. Kind of want to go get a little sweat and. Oh, Atlanta Ralph. In this economy? People still playing elves? Actually, I mean, I guess green mana would be nice. How did your Is It Lessons deck without Monument do yesterday? Did you like it or not? I only played 2 matches. It didn't seem like very impressive, but oh wow. Well, at least I have outs, but that's obnoxious. I wonder who got me sick at the PT, because none of my teammates got sick. Not that I know of. You know who I suspect? How does that card work? What's the casting cost on the Annex? Does anyone know? Is it whatever they have unlocked, or is it 8? It's 8? It's rough. Could have caught it on the plane. Nah, because I started coughing on the plane. I mean, maybe, I guess. Like, I know Sauce was, Sauce was sick. He was on my left on day 2 drafts, but he was wearing a mask on day 2. But on day 1 and on Thursday, he came and talked to me a bunch, and he wasn't wearing a mask yet. So I think maybe Stars got me. And plates only those unlocked. Okay, so it does work well for me. So right now I have 6. All right, let's see. Oh, I get a map for free. Yeah, that's what I thought. Classic chat, like trying to lead me astray. Not very nice. Yeah, I could. I mean, usually you like start getting symptoms like 2 days or so after you catch it. So maybe I did catch it on the plane. But isn't the plane supposed to be like pretty safe? Like the air is like recycled all the time. Also, no one was really like. There was a kid that was coughing behind me a lot, actually. Yeah, maybe I caught it on the plane. And I'm assuming I'm not contagious anymore, but doesn't the air on the plane just go round and round? Sounds like a breeding ground. I don't know how it works. Didn't they say like during COVID and stuff, they were like, oh, it's super safe. The air is I don't know, does it maybe it goes out of the plane? Maybe they have a system where oh I guess I'm just dubs. I need to rip another cover up. Is that enough? No way, right? Not sure there's anything I can draw. Kill Uro, take 8, kill a big guy. And I got. That's pretty nutty draw. Alpha Annex, just the perfects. Let's see. Kind of tough. All my cards are pretty nice. Google airplane air is clean AF, highly filtered like hospital hair, apparently, yeah. Turn on Elf every time. How bad can that be? Maybe keeping the second wistfulness is bad against their Urobori draw. Alright, they have Uro. A little scary. Could bounce it. That'd slow them down. Probably need to not get too greedy here. Jeez. Like infinite value, but am I gonna have time to get value out of my cards? I don't know if you guys could tell the triple combo just got hit by the triple sneeze. Triple sneeze coughing at the same time, kind of they discard cards. Any cards? Wait, I don't want to bring back the seed though. I'll bring back a wistfulness. Oh god, I didn't can you tell I haven't played these cards much on Arena? That's not a big deal. Surely. It's pretty strong cards. Doesn't see a ton of play and mostly in like combo stuff, but just yeah, just good mid-range card, right? Another Uro? Damn. Oh. Oops. I try and kill stuff? So I'm just gonna die if I try and kill stuff. I don't know if you even killed a bat here, honestly. I don't even want to go down to 1 though. I mean, I guess I might as well get back a Cavaro. Oh, River Regent? Oh, I don't have mana to cover up. Wow, I'm just unreal. Okay, well, this was not a real match of Magic. Awkward. Deck's unplayable, clearly. Was I dead? I think so. I only had 4 mana. Still, I could have Kivara Region and then, yeah. Wow. Munson. Real Munson. What do you think about Is It Lessons Mono in actual standards? Might be good now that Cubs decks are gone. Might be good. Did okay at the Pro Tour. Didn't expect it to do good, but I guess the meta is all weird. Alright, chat, should we do a little GeoGuessr? I'm gonna stream, probably stream with a delay, the qualifier tomorrow. They did their special. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing or if they do it on purpose, but they did their special of like standard showcase challenge starts at the same time basically as arena qualifier, which kind of sucks, but not just play, focus on the qualifier. And then Sunday, either day 2 or maybe the vintage showcase challenge, figure out what's good in vintage. But yeah. Let's do old Geo. It's been a while. How do you, what's the command already? Open guess? Is it a big difference between Patreon and coffee? I don't know. I don't know who takes what. How much Patreon takes. How much Kofi takes. I don't use Kofi and Patreon. I just use for the podcast. Well, it's dead. It's just dead stream. Been gone. I've been sick 2 days. Just over. I mean, if no one's gonna bet, I'm not gonna play. It was good though. I'm glad I felt better today. I could stream. I was missing the stream. Felt bad abandoning you all. Alright, there we go. We got some bets in. Is it open guess and guess you try to the commands? Someone got it on the over at least. crab. Carrère of Montpellier, Spanish. Universidad de Montpellier. Hey, it's Barcelona. Kind of getting Barcelona vibes. Was that Catalan? Or is that Spanish? Girona. Alright, I wasn't that far off. Alright, what's the name of that street? Carrer Barcelona, and it's going northeast. Probably downtown. Carrer Barcelona. Now we gotta find Carrer de Universidad de Montpellier. Like some kind of park. Not really a park. What's that one though? Are we already on? Oh no, I guess I went a ways. Hmm. It was all the way here. Which one is it? Stub guess? I feel like I'm doing it wrong. Uh-oh. Looks like Russia, maybe? Oh no. Maybe Ukraine? Lots of white and blue. Probably Ukraine. Not. I'm silly, it'd be yellow and blue. White and blue. What the hell is that ad for? Let's go forward. Yeah, I think it's Russia. XD. Oh man. We're in Russia. Feels like we never get near Moscow anymore either. It's always like middle of Russia and stuff. Maybe I'll hedge a bit. Okay. That's pretty lucky. Didn't quite feel Moscow. Didn't feel like it was like super east either. Bailed out. Wow, way to diminish my skill. Why don't you just say it's all luck? Puerto Arasati, Pirazza, 28 Arasati. Alright, so probably South America, maybe Uruguay. What did sign say? Let's see. Villa Maria, Circuito Cristian Rosales, San Jose. Cristian Rosales. You think it's Uruguay too, Mr. Poppy? Nice. Yeah, these green street signs are city signs, kilometer signs. Okay, looks like I'm not going anywhere. Great. Sorry, I'm still a little sick. Probably not the nicest. The coughing and stuff. I've been trying to mute the mic, obviously, but should be back to normal pretty soon. I think today I felt significantly better. Villa Maria. Bobbers. Did you see how people were being mean and saying I was gonna pull a bobber and not stream for 9 months? Hello, friends. What's your magic status these days? Do you play at all? Or you just play other games or do other stuff? I haven't played at all. Alright, I'm just gonna plonk somewhere here. San Jose. Villa Maria. Indonesia or Batangs? Batangs is Indonesia, right? All right. Should have what we need in that address, right? In theory, if you know what you're looking for. Except I never know which one's which. Silatan Tigal. Which one's the city name? Could be Tigal. I never know which one's which. They're too hard to like remember all. Does anyone see any of these names anywhere? Returning. You've been streaming politics, really? That's cool. Alright, so I'm just cooked. Can't find any of these names anywhere. Tuban, Kalimayat, Witan, Tigal, Silatan, Tigal. I feel like you say you're gonna do it, but have you actually done it yet? The Hassan Hubby of the UK. You're gonna start tonight. Nice. Maybe I'm cheating. Oh, Tigal? They're saying. Alright, I'm all in. I'm all in gas bag. Hey, let's go. We found it. Don't you have a pub too? Except he has a like massive pub. And you have a, or do you have, I guess you have cats. All right, at what time? At what time's the stream? The official launch of the Bobsy Politics stream. Vora, Brand Station, Vovin, Palo. I don't recognize that language. I'm rusty. Is that Finland? That we need Athena. She's probably at Friday Night Magic. Maximo Maxama. Eh. The Dragon Sheng incident. The day. The day we were freed of the Matrix. The day we realized it's just all an actual sim. Copy pasted country. That's so funny. So funny and so unreal. I was hoping I'd get to like some kind of major street, highway, something. Going that way. Going towards the city. I should have just for Maxima. Probably somewhere south, right? Okay, not too bad. Vora. I wanted to speak Swedish as their first language. I think we got there. That's like well navigated by me, honestly. I will say. Congrats, Brundi Boom. You've collected Garexy Trino. No sympathy for the doubters and the lowballers. Alright, everyone, I'm gonna raid someone. I'll be back tomorrow. Probably delay for day one of the arena qualifier. Probably just gonna run it back with blue black. Doomwake is on. He's also trying to qualify. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. I know I've been gone for a while. Did Bobsy ever said at what time he was gonna start his stream? So 8 p.m. French time, an hour and a half. Okay. Might tune in if I'm around. Yeah, I think I'll feel better tomorrow and should be back to normal by like Sunday, hopefully. Goat, thanks for watching. Rhino, Bob, Steve is still here. Thanks everyone. Have a great one. Have a great rest of your Friday. Great start to your weekend. I'll see you later.